Okay, welcome to the Great Climbers Club. This is going to be a new presentation series that I have on tips to help you in the classroom. The tips will be fairly broad. Some of them will be about the class you're in, but a lot of them you can apply to all of your online classes. Okay, so welcome to the Financial Math Survival Tips. And today what we're going to learn is we're going to go over the essential know-hows of the basic class expectations. Now, I know some of you have already been in online for a while. How many of you been online? Have you had classes before this one? Just put yes. Have you had like several or years, or is this a brand new class? You just type down in the center chat. Okay, so you've had a couple and getting started. So as you know, after you've done 2 or 3, it gets easier and easier, right? But when you first start, oh, that's great. Yeah, you've completely changed classes. You've gone from a junior to senior. That's awesome. So as you know, after you first start, right, it gets easier after about the second or third class. And I think the really, really awesome thing about online school is the flexibility is amazing. So whenever anything else comes up as far as importance, so when the mountains call, right, you must go. So that can be anything, right, from a job to health. Um, so that is one of the really amazing things about online school and the appeal of it. A little bit about me. Some of you may already know this, some of you may not. I've kind of been in computers a long time. I actually finished my college in computer engineering years ago. And I didn't go into schooling and education the normal way. I actually had a family member that had been involved in a serious accident and lost their eyesight. And so I actually got into teaching through working at a Phoenix Trauma Hospital here in town. And they actually paid for me to go back to school to get my education degree. And I taught there. And then from there, I just started moving into online schools. It was kind of a natural progression. So I've pretty much been in this for, we won't talk about how long, a long time. And I've been a Primavera now almost 8 years. So very thankful to be here. The other thing that's a little bit different about me is a lot of teachers have an education hat and they wear it very solidly. And, and I've really come from a family of businesses. So I've always owned a business since I've been a teenager. So that kind of comes into play with how I teach my class a little bit different too, just because I haven't had the typical background, right? Did you guys have any questions at all? I go by my middle name, Miss Lee. Okay, so if anything comes to mind, you guys just type it in the chat in the middle there. That's what it's for. And the class expectations, typically in every single online class, there are some things that are considered high value, right? Very important. And I would say in online classes, any kind of projects that they have, or portfolios they might be called, and your pace and how you participate. Those are the 3 things you want to find out in any online classroom. So in financial math particular, we only have 2 projects. The first one is a study on whether to rent or buy a home, and the second one is on learning how to do an investment portfolio. As far as the pace goes, typically the school pace is 5 lessons per week. But when I put my business hat on, because our last week of school is so busy, right, with the extra large final exam, and sometimes a week shorter on the last week. And I really would like you to do corrections and work on what any holes you skipped. So I really recommend you do 7 lessons per week, at least 2 or 3 of those weeks. And that way you'll have a less stressful last week in class, okay? As far as participating in class, the way we participate is through the discussions and the sync and async. So you guys are in the live sync because we're in sync. We're here at the same time, right? If you can't make these times, then you can go to the async, which is the recording, and that's listed under your quiz tab. But if you do the recording, there is a quiz you'll have to take. Okay, and that seems to be pretty across the board in any of the online classes at Primavera. And you can hear we're out here in the woods. The birds are quite happy today, aren't they? Okay, each class has certain grades that count certain points, right? And they call that weights. And in this particular class, the highest weight is in the project. It counts 25% of your overall grade. That's like really, really a lot. So I will reopen those for you and give you feedback if you don't get an A on it. So don't worry, but be sure and complete that. Okay? And then almost everything else you can see there on the right. Oh, I hear my buzzer. That means it is time to tell you the secret passcode. The secret passcode for this particular recording is Zebra1. Zebra1. All one word, lowercase, Zebra1. Okay? Okay, so back to the slideshow. The class weight for the assignments, the discussion, checkpoints, and participation are all 15%. And the exams too. So pretty much everything is 15%. Only the final exam is 10 at the end. And then workbook's not listed on here. It's only 5%. Pretty small. Okay, anything on here surprised you guys? Anything on here you thought of while we were talking just now? Do you guys think these percentages are fair or unfair, different from other classes? What do you think? What do you like or don't like about them? I mean, there's always something positive and then something that might be nice to have changed, right? Okay. I appreciate your comments. One thing people forget to do when they're online. Every single day, you got to look into your book. Look at your grade book. I have people, at least one to three people every day say, what is my grade? Right? Or why is my grade this? So if you check out your grade book, you can see. And just know also that depending on your class, the computer grades certain things. So typically in this class, discussions and asyncs are graded by the teacher. Okay, and then the computer puts in the zeros if you're past the pace. The teacher doesn't, the computer does that, okay? And what I love, love, love about this class is its real world application. I mean, the discussions are just great. These are things that you're going to use the rest of your life. So I would really check out what your classmates have to say in the discussions because you really could learn something new. And you might have something to contribute from your experience too, because this is about the real math that we use, right? And just know that I always let you correct your projects and discussions anytime. You can always add to them for additional credit, okay? If for some reason you can't get to them or something, you just message me, hey, I can't get to, whatever. Can you reopen? Okay, do you guys have any questions on the weights or on the real world application? So far in business, finance, math, what has been your favorite topic that you've covered so far? I know they cover a lot of different ones. What's been your favorite so far? I see you typing. Okay, well, McKenna likes all of it. I'm sure there's some of it that's more applicable that you'll enjoy more than others. Budgeting's always fun for people that, you're getting to learn to live on your own. Learning how to buy a house and a car is always fun. The compound interest is the problem's a little bit more difficult, um, but the idea that you're learning how to do it is a great idea, right? Okay, so your daily and weekly classwork is going to kind of look like this a little bit, right? You're going to do a workbook. You can do it as much as you want, retake it as many times as you want, but just remember it's only 5% of your grade, so you don't want to spend too much time in your workbook. It's not going to count that much. But once you figure it out, you jump to your checkpoint, because your checkpoint is where you show, hey, I know what this is. I'm checking. Here, I got it. That's your checkpoint. Okay, and discussions is where we talk and chat and write about the topic for the week. And like I said, you scan what some of the other people are saying, because sometimes it's completely different thinking. You wouldn't believe the amazing different answers I get in these discussions. Okay, and then after every 5 lessons, as you already know, there's an exam. Okay, and you'll fill in an answer or do multiple choice. Typically there's 20 questions in our exams. And yes, I let you retake it if you want. Just message me if you're not happy with your grade, okay? So it is time to give you the next passcode again. And again, it is Zebra1. The passcode for this recording is Zebra1. And it's all one word, lowercase. Zebra and the number 1. All right? Okay, tips for pacing yourself. These, I think most people don't think about this, but it's very important. You'll get more online work done if you just pick the largest block of quiet time you have each day. Just think about it. When are you going to be most productive and have the biggest amount of time? Sit down then, and you will see how much faster you get your work done. It's amazing. And then don't just give up or throw away your time. Like if you're stuck on something where you piddle around, just kind of half guess, I don't know what this is. Oh, I'm never going to. Don't even move into it. Try it 2 or 3 times. If you don't get it, get online, see if there's any recordings in the class. Mine are under async. If there's none there, then go into Google and type in the name of the math problem. You can even copy the math problem, and sometimes it'll show you. And then over on the left here, left of our chat, there's also a reminder. There's an app you can download onto your phone. It's called Photomath. It is free. You can actually take a picture of a math problem and it'll tell you the steps on how to do it. Okay, no, it's not cheating. Okay, so if you've done all those things, you've looked in the classroom, you've Googled, you've tried your Photomath, you've got a couple other options. You've also got the Primavera tutoring. That is free. That's if you want help probably more consistently or for a good hour. Or you can also cut and paste the problem or type out the problem and send it to me, and then we'll go over it. Okay, now I do have to handle people first in, first out, so sometimes when you send it to me, it may not be till the next day at a certain time. So, but choose which of those work the best, right? Research, Photomath, tutoring, or myself. Okay, and do reach out for support like that. You don't want to sit more than 15 minutes on a problem. Okay, do you guys have any other math tips when you get stuck? How else do you guys reach out? You guys have any tips on how you guys reach out? Okay, so here are the topics that are going to be in financial math. These are all awesome. You will use these the rest of your life. We're going to go over income and expenses. We're going to go over banking and credit cards and loans. We're going to go over investments and what type of investments. We're going to go over budgeting. We're also going to go over starting your own business. So these are the 6 topics for the classroom. That's a lot of information to cover in 6 weeks, but these will all help you quite a bit in your future. Which of these 6 sound most interesting to you? Like if you could pick one, What would you like to learn about? Starting your own business. Smart guy. Starting your own business, same thing. Okay, good. Well, that's at the end of the class, so hopefully you guys will get some tips on that. I'm definitely an advocate of that because if you have a good business plan and a good model, you'll always make more money than working for somebody else, right? And have a little more flexibility. It's a lot more work up front, but you can gain more income and flexibility. Okay, so remember each week you can either attend the live QA session, which is where you guys are right now, Tuesdays at noon or 12:30. If you can't get to the session, don't worry because there will always be a recording listed under your quiz tab. So after each recording, you'll take a quiz. And my class quizzes are actually the same for every recording. They're a little bit more open-ended, okay? Typically in math, they're quantitative or numeric answers, right? But this is more logic-oriented. So the logic is I want to know that you can reiterate what topic or concept was covered. Okay, share some kind of example. What was the difficult part of the lesson? Why? What are you going to do to make it easier? And the third one's something about what concept, where will this be used? And the fourth one is what keywords are you going to use to find this information online, and what's something interesting you found online? So those are my basic questions that are for every single recording. Okay. Do you guys have any questions on async or synchronous? Okay. You guys are awfully quiet today. I think the birds are louder than you guys are today. Okay, here's some online safety rules. Oh, make sure you take a break. Right after you've completed a lesson or two, get up and set your eyes on something further away. Look at something far away that's supposed to be good for your eyes. Stretch. Get up and get something to drink, right? Another safety rule would be beware of viruses. So if you get an email on your Primavera account and it's not specifically from your teacher and you don't know who it's from, do not click on it. Do not click on any of the links. Okay? And do not use public networks if you can. Try not to use like the Starbucks, McDonald's Wi-Fi because they're more open. Hackers have more availability to get to your computer. And then I think the other online safety rule is you just kind of got to manage your time because you literally can just sit online for forever, right? And you don't want to do that, right? You have a life, you have other things you want to do. So kind of be mindful, maybe set an alarm on your phone, how long you want to be on. Do you guys have any other online safety rules or tips to share? Okay, I love financial math. It is my very favorite. I think it's because I didn't have it in high school. And so I had to kind of learn the hard way. And I think having had different businesses and having to buy a car more than once and building a home, buying a home and getting a foreclosure, I think all those things, I was like, wow, I could have known all this before I went through it and figured it out. So I'm really happy that you guys are getting this information now. It's critical time. And it does make a huge difference in your life. When you start getting to be 30 and 40, you'll start seeing a huge difference if you apply some just basic math, financial math tips, right? Like not running up your credit card, paying a huge amount of interest, learning how to buy a car for a lesser price, knowing what a good interest rate is on the house. Oh, I like that picture of the campfire. I hadn't noticed it before. It's a good picture. Okay, now I don't know if this is going to be live on your end. Can you guys click on that and see if it's live? And tell me if it is on your end. Can you click on it? Is it live? You can see it, but when you click on the arrow, it's not live. If you guys get to the end of the 3 minutes, just tell me, all right? Enjoy this link. Yeah, everybody reacts differently with this video because we're not used to people talking about the reality of what's in school, right? So, yeah, a lot of that resonates true. It is kind of sad or scary, or it may feel negative because we're not used to people talking that way. And there was a lot of hype when this first came out, that video. People had very adverse reactions to totally, approving of it and totally disapproving of it. So, and it's understandable. He does happen to have several college degrees, and just so you know, our principal of our school here at Primavera is very progressive and felt like it was very relevant to students these days to feel like they're getting the education they need. So that was actually sent to all the teachers when it first came out here. So I'm very happy. Financial math is one of those classes that you will use the rest of your life. It is very practical, so I'm very thankful that you guys are in here. And you will be learning a lot in this class. Okay, so I'm not really, like I said, I'm more of a businesswoman. So I've had a lot more experience as an entrepreneur and an engineer. But I have had a lot of financial math experience with owning different businesses. So that's the part I can help you with. Okay. And last but not least, hey, when you finish financial math, you will have joined the Great Climbers Club, right? Because it will actually help you get to your dreams and goals by learning these things that are in this class. It isn't just about being able to add and subtract. This is actually going to help you progress in life, this class, which is really exciting, I think. And last but not least, if I can flip the screen here. These are some other resources. You also see some on the left of our chat, right? Don't forget, you can. Khan Academy is a public resource for all online schools. I understand there's a couple of other ones called Socratic and IXL. Okay, there's a lot of recordings that you can view. You just got to Google them. Photomath application happens to be a free app that I know you can use on your phone. I've used it before, having other students use it. And then don't forget, Primavera has free tutoring. And that is really, really a privilege. Tutoring is quite expensive these days, so that's really awesome that they offer that for you guys. Okay, typically at this time, I would have you guys do an activity in the class, some kind of group work, or share a story, or present some output from an article. Climbers Club, the survival kit for financial math. I hope you guys understand a little bit more about the class and understand a little bit more about your teacher, and hope to see you in the next financial math class.